these 3 Hydras, just chip away here and see how much damage you can do. He's just, it's a beautiful move by Stephano. He knows he's got 5 bases up now. He can afford to lose ground units. As long as he has Corruptors killing off the Colossus and all the Colossi, it's a brilliant move, because he can reproduce at a massive rate his ground army. He's just choosing to sacrifice his Corruptors, however, which probably wasn't the smartest idea. Just a little bit of a stuff up there by Stephano, but that's alright. Beautifully blocked off wall, of course. Are we going to be seeing a mothership shortly? Not anytime soon, I would imagine. He hasn't got the tech for it, but I imagine that would probably be his late game goal. Still just trying to get up a good number of Colossus. It's very difficult against a Zerg player if you're constantly losing your Colossi. 5th base coming down now for KiWiKaKi. And still no 6th. I would have expected to see Stephano going there. His minerals is getting high, his gases and that big. He's planning on switching over to Brood Lords. You would expect him to want to take that. Another engagement, of course, going fairly well. No real threat from Stephano, not enough units. I think he's just trying to keep the pressure on. Try and not let the Protoss player get a big death ball going on. But now that that's dead, he needs to worry, because you get this feeling where you feel like you get, I'm getting a bit of pressure going on, so you keep the pressure, but you don't realise you're not killing enough units. Now Stephano's probably too good for this, and he pulls off smartly so to go along and take a 6th, as we set him out before. Upgrades coming off nightly, and you see the melee coming up, and you maybe think, wait, why is he getting melee? Why is he getting melee attack if all he's going is Roach Hydra? Well, this is a really smart thing by Stephano. He's planning on going long term. He knows this game's not going to end in the next 5 minutes. He knows he's going to have to go Brood Lords. Hasn't started his Hive yet, so I'm not I imagine he'll be starting that shortly. But he gets the melee upgrade because the Broodlings, which come from Brood Lords, get plus extra damage from melee attack. So that's an extremely smart option. He gets +2, he's got +1 on turrets and roaches, and that's enough to get him through the mid game. He's not planning on sticking on these for long, because as soon as you see good engagement, you've got roaches here taking out the mineral line, and at the same time he's going to push it with his roaches here. Not enough Corruptors, however, and these Colossi are just going to repel that something fierce, just not a chance. He did do a little bit of damage here, he's got them just hidden very nicely. We have a look at the minerals. Stephano's actually behind, which is a bit of a surprise to me. I would have expected him to be well ahead. 91 probes by KiWiKaKi. That is massive. I do not remember the last time I saw someone have 91 probes in a match. The very odd person does it. But not very often. More often you see it from Zerg players who will then turn them into, 91 spine crawlers. But don't pretend you don't do that, because we all love to do it. He's trying to get away, but not a lot of chance. He's got enough cannons to sink a battleship. He will, however, be able to pop these up shortly and do extra pressure. We have a look at the workers and units killed. No worker damage, not a lot of harass. But look at the units killed. KiWiKaKi has just killed so many units, but it just doesn't stop Stephano. He just keeps coming and keeps coming. That's going to end just horribly for Stephano. Yes, he's going to kill all the Colossi, but his entire Roach army just got absolutely destroyed. I'm guessing the plan now for Stephano is just to start switching across. Now this can be dangerous though. You want to get rid of your Roaches so you can start getting up Brood Lords. He hasn't got the tech yet. There's the excuse me. There's the Hive beginning to come up. He's got his Infestus coming up. But there's that tricky situation where you need to get rid of some food, so you sacrifice a few units, but you sacrifice too many, and then you face the danger of an enemy being 100, well, he was further ahead, almost 200 food, running into your base and trying to kill you, and you've got no roaches left. Smartly building some immediate zerglings to try and deal with the situation. He brings the Infestus across, not a lot of energy, and nicely repelled. KiWiKaKi decides it's not a smart idea to sacrifice all of my Stalkers to a bunch of Zerglings. Smart move, obviously. Getting his Hive almost finished, and I imagine we'll see our Spire going into a greater Spire. And there's the Mothership, as predicted earlier. And the 6th base, so it's going to be I hope you've got your seatbelts on, boys and girls, because this is going to be a long one. I always love matches like this. It gets to the point where you sort of no one wants to attack because it's going to end in death. Oh, and he's killing his own zealots. Why not? Who needs zealots? I always love seeing players sacrifice their own units. He's got 4 Colossi. Now, Colossi are just so good against anything on the ground. And you think, well, how's that going to help you if your enemy's planning on going for Broodlords? Well, of course, the Broodlings get absolutely destroyed by Colossi. So, oh, we got a nice little... Oh, he's going to... He gets through. I'm surprised. I was wondering if he was going to make it through. Dropping a few roaches just to... I think this is a nice scout and a good opportunity to do a little sneaky harass while you're there. Why not? Maybe hoping to distract him and try and take out some Colossi, but of course KiWiKaKi just too good for that. And look at the number of Colossi coming up. This is massive. 6 Colossi is going to eat alive any roach army. Stephano really needs to hold KiWiKaKi off until he can get into the late game where he can get some Broodlords up and he's going to be in good shape. Of course, Infester, Roach, Corruptor is still pretty efficient versus this, except when this happens. This makes life very difficult. Blinkstalkers are just so good on this map. You've got all these open areas where teams can just blink up, steal an expo, and then blink straight back out again, and Zerg has no chance to get up there to save it. However, you can get a nice cut-off. Smartly sending Corruptors in first, they've got so much armor they can tank, and except that makes life difficult when you can't kill his army. Beautiful recall by KiWiKaKi. He effectively killed an expo for no damage. 0 damage. Motherships are just so good if you use them well like that. You don't see it a lot. It's like the old days in StarCraft 1 with recall. It was just such a great tool. However, you can build a lot more than just one mothership. I can't remember the name of the unit anymore. That was back when I was a lot younger. 6 bases. We've got one almost fully mined out, 1 gas down, this one running low. Same up here. They're very even in timing, which is cool to see. We've got absolute metric buttload of warp gates and everything, gateways going down to make faster production, to restock up, more Colossi coming up, and we still have Broodlords starting to morph in, I would imagine. Yes, there they are. How many? Oh, we got a lot. Boom! Broodlords on the field, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. This should be a good... And oh, he's going to quickly take this out again. This is really the point of attack. Now, these 2 bases are going to be the first point of attack, because if you can cut things out, you kill all minerals. And you've said, realistically, the minerals are so high that they can go so long without a base now. It's not funny. But still, these are your points of attack. It's all about managing expansions. All about killing off expansions, harassing expansions, keeping pressure on, and very nice fungal growth to hold them there while your broodlings come in and start to attack. Oh, almost losing its nice blink forward to keep pressure on the broodlords. But these broodlings, oh, very nice recall. Very smart move. I really like what he's doing there. Normally players will move out with their mothership as well and go for a kill straight away. But KiWiKaKi very smartly says, no, I don't mind if this game takes all day. I'm just going to push up, kill your expansion, and then recall myself back again. The one advantage right now for Stephano is that KiWiKaKi took this base third, which means these 2 are vulnerable to attack, and they're his main mining bases. However, Stephano took this base last, so he's very safe base-wise. Very smart use of his broodlords, keeping him near this little blockade where he can pull back and hide. So he sends a few broodlings in, lets the broodlings do some damage, pulls back. And we've got some void rays coming out now, which are just so good against broodlords. This is a scary army for anyone to deal with. This many broodlords with this many infestors. Oh, and he gets the neuroparasite on the mothership. I love it. Hide your own army. However, sadly, Stephano has no detection, and he just lost every single one of his infestors, I think. Yes. That was a big loss. Losing all your infestors and having no detection generally ends in death against a Protoss player with a mothership. However, Stephano being Stephano, he manages to pull it off anyway, keep them back. I think KiWiKaKi will probably be better off pushing forward with his mothership now. He knows for now that there's no overseers. Here they come in now, but he could have easily killed off this first, taken out the spine crawlers. He's going to come in and try and take this again. I just really like the pressure KiWiKaKi's keeping over here. He's not giving Stephano a chance to try and catch up or pull back in. But this could end very bad. Is it going to be a base race, or is it just going to be an expansion change? No, Stephano decides to pull back safely, wisely. In the tournament match, it's not very smart to try and do a base race. Generally, most people prefer to try and just play it safe, pull back, kill off the army, then push. Of course, Broodlords are so slow that by the time they actually get here, his units have killed off 2 bases and been recalled back again. This is just fantastic work by KiWiKaKi. I've not seen a player being this offensive with recall in a long time, which is a bit sad because it's such an amazing maneuver, and you're not going to have it that much longer, Protoss players, so you might as well abuse it. Well, you'll have it on your Nexus instead, in Heart of the Storm. Big engagement. Has he got enough infestors? He hasn't got many. They're getting picked off now. Managing to kill off almost all of the Colossi. 2 on red. Down goes the mothership. That's going to make him very vulnerable. He's still got enough infestors to lock these down, pull his Broodlords backwards, but the beautiful blink pressure, but really he hasn't a lot of chance with this many. Oh, reinforced stalkers coming up, killing off the Broodlords. 2 left, spy crawlers in there as well. Corruptors really need to start morphing over, but they're just a bit too slow. Good burrow from the infestors, and that was almost a full base exchange. Army exchange, except for the fact that there's about 1 million Corruptors on the field. Smartly, KiWiKaKi. Oh, did not see that. My apologies. So these 2 roaches that have been hidden here pretty much all game long. And these ones here must have... Oh, yeah, got dropped off. And he's just sacked both sides of the mineral line. As you see, the probes have dropped down quite a lot. They were up around the 70 mark. And the repels the attack, not there's much left. In the meantime, oh, big roach attack coming up the middle. He's distracted him. This is not looking very good for KiWiKaKi. Down to 120 food. Back come the stalkers, but they're not going to be able to do a lot. He's got a good amount of stalkers in his base, but damage is done. He's warping in some Dark Templar as well. He's got 18 stalkers. Mothership's trying to get back up. I hate seeing this. Broodlords morphing outside your base because they're so confident. He's just sacking anything he can with Zerglings. He's just ripping everything to shreds. Not a lot of units around to help, but in come a whole lot of Archons. In comes the toilet, I would imagine. Going to be looking at the Archon toilet, which is just so deadly that you get a good Archon toilet out. There's not a huge number of Broodlords. There's 7, which is, I mean, granted, still 7 Broodlords. They are beasts. And a lot of roaches and corruptors. This is still a very scary army from Stephano. 60 food ahead. Most players you would expect a GG right now, but KiWiKaKi, he's managing to hold on fairly well. He's got enough Archons to probably repel this. These cannons won't last very long, but they're just distracting him long enough to keep building enough units to try and push this back. He's beginning to pull back on food. However, he is very low on minerals and gas, thanks to that small roach attack. And this is something, if you're wanting to get better, small attacks like that seem insignificant at the time. Like this, it seems like he's sacrificing units. Yes, but in the long term, he's pulling ahead. If you look at the minerals, 1300 to 600, he's slowly pulling ahead, keeping the probes low, and that is astronomically hurting KiWiKaKi right now. But at the same time, they've evened out on food. It cost them roaches. Why did he sacrifice the roaches? Because they're not that efficient versus a whole lot of Colossi and a whole lot of Archons. So this is a very scary situation for Stephano right now. If that army gets toileted, it dies. No questions asked. It dies because Archons, that many Archons, how many have we got? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 Archons in a toilet with that army is going to end extremely ugly. The question's going to be, can he land a good toilet? Because Stephano's no average laddering player. He's one of the best Zerg around. He's absolutely fantastic, and I've seen him avoid these situations many times before. It's just a matter of splitting your army up evenly around the Protoss, so you only get 3 or 4 Broodlords in there instead of all of them, which I've seen happen one too many times. Stephano beginning to get low on minerals. He's got this base still. This base beginning to get low. This one almost mined out. You can only go so long in one of these games. It's not the big game hunter map in StarCraft 1 where it lasted forever. Big engagement coming in, Stephano poking forward and out, and that's where's the mothership has stayed back for a recall, obviously. I think it probably would have been better to come in right now. He could have got a really nice toilet off. There's the recall. I do think, good you're a parasite on the Archons, of course, but I still do think that was a little bit of a mistake by KiWiKaKi. I think he would have been better off coming in at that stage with his mothership, getting